in no time, in 2.5 minutes, I had 43 bugs filed,
So
right?
how long would that have taken you in human time?
Two and a half hours at least to file
Yeah.
the 43
Yeah.
bugs. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
frustration.
Right, exactly, because it's horrible work, right?
Yes.
It's incredibly mind-numbing
It's
because
like poke your
the
eyes out
thought,
work. It's
the
like poke your
thought,
eyes out work.
the thought and the expertise went into knowing what was a bug, right?
Yep.
The AI world is moving fast, but we make it easy. Welcome to the AI Because podcast, your shortcut to turning AI hype into real results.
Oh, rock and roll.
Welcome to this episode of AI because it's cool to have well, it's not, I was going to say everyone in the room, but we don't have everyone in the room. Manoj isn't with us, but he will be joining next time. Manoj, we miss you. Don't we miss him?
We
Of
do.
course. Of course we
Okay.
do.
Okay. As long as everybody agrees, we miss Manoj. So there is, if you haven't been paying attention to AI and the rapid evolution and launch of all the new functionalities, please come out from underneath your rock and, and tap into what's happening because it's freaking wild. So it's good to have you all. We're recording this the beginning of February, so the first Monday in February, which is super cool. And this will most likely drop the first Tuesday in February. So it's good to see y'all. So what's been happening? Because we had different things we were focusing on and looking at. I have stories, Steve has stories, Michael's got stuff that's working on. You've been playing with cows lately too, sir.
I'm back playing with cows for a couple of months. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know most other people in the industry would not describe it quite that way, but that's just the visual that I have. So
Mm.
who is so anxious to share what they've uncovered and what's going on?
I mean, there's so much stuff. I'm happy to
Oh,
to
You
cool.
start.
Okay. Because I know I had
so
to stop you because you were starting to talk about it before I hit record, and I'm
well,
like,
yeah, I
what?
mean,
Let's just dive in.
like at so many different levels, there's profound transformation going on. And at the personal level, I'm finding that I'm able to do things that used to take a lot longer, and there's now I'm able to do them orders of magnitude quicker. The most recent example was I work as a product manager and have two financial technology products, fintech,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had a spreadsheet of all of these findings from one of my products, and I
Mm-hmm.
just went through and I bolded the ones that were not right, right, that I wanted to file bugs on.
Fix.
And then rather in the past, what I would have to do is to do this manually, basically go through and look at the spreadsheet and say, okay, type it into Azure DevOps. Well, this time I was like, all right, I had ChatGPT format
So what
the
is the observed DevOps, the thing that you just said? I'm not familiar with that. I'm
it's a
sorry.
huge so anyone on a lot of development teams that work on the Azure platform,
Right.
so it's huge. Use this as a bug tracking or a
Okay.
feature,
All
to
right.
track
Okay.
their work,
I
basically,
gotcha. Sorry,
right?
didn't mean to interrupt, but I didn't
Yeah,
know
no
what that
problem.
was.
No problem. It deserves some context. So,
Okay.
uh, um, and so basically, I realized I was like, all right, well, look, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so I
There's
had,
always a better
yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly, right. And so I had ChatGPT format the spreadsheet. Said, okay, extract all the lines that I bolded from this spreadsheet, format them for Azure DevOps, and then so that I can upload them through the command line interface for Azure DevOps, right? And so all I had to do was I went and got it myself a token from my personal account from Azure DevOps, and then lo and behold, after having ChatGPT give me the terminal commands that would invoke the CLI,
Right. What's
right?
CLI?
Command line interface.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Then in no time, in 2.5 minutes, I had 43 bugs filed,
So
right?
how long would that have taken you in human time?
Two and a half hours at least to file
Yeah.
the 43
Yeah.
bugs. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
frustration.
Right, exactly, because it's horrible work, right?
Yes.
It's incredibly mind-numbing
It's
because
like poke your
the
eyes out
thought,
work. It's
the
like poke your
thought,
eyes out work.
the thought and the expertise went into knowing what was a bug, right?
Yep.
Right? That didn't take that long. And then the manual and mind-numbing stuff of just sitting there looking at a spreadsheet
Do
and
you know
typing
what
in,
you know what I wonder, Steve,
huh?
is You just said the human part of knowing what's a bug. I wonder if AI would know the bug. It would
The
be
problem,
curious to run it through and go, where are the bugs? The whole
the
thing. The whole
ironic thing
thing.
about this is, it one of these days in the future it might, but ironically, this is a product that actually uses machine learning
Okay.
to recognize issues,
Oh,
and it had gotten
interesting. And
some
it
stuff,
didn't. It
and
got stuck.
it had missed some stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Like, for
That's
example,
funny.
it was supposed to detect signatures on signature lines, and it missed them. Right? So
Okay.
that's the kind of stuff that we
Well,
are
and
talking about.
that's the funky stuff. It's like when I go into, Gemini or images or ChatGPT and I'm like, did make this change and it said, boom, made the change and I look and there's nothing different.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, no, dude, you didn't make the
exactly.
change.
I mean,
So
well,
try it again.
and then so that's one story, and I'll give two others, and then I mean I could literally talk a lot longer,
No,
but I'm
please
not
don't.
going to.
Please
Exactly,
don't. I love you,
exactly.
but
All
please
right.
don't.
So here's something else that really sticks out in my mind. About what, 2 weeks ago, there
Yeah.
was something launched that was called Claudebot, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
Claudebot, and
Yes.
Claudebot is a personal agent that does things for you.
Well, they changed the name
Yeah,
too.
well, that's where I was going with that. Is
Okay.
that then a week later? This is we're talking about AI time now. We
Yeah.
super accelerate. The Claude, the company Anthropic was saying, they went to him and said, "Hey, I'd appreciate if you change the name." So they did. They changed it to Moltbot, right? So
Which
Yeah.
is
now,
so
right,
weird.
right, 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 right,
Weird. I mean,
right.
why wouldn't you
So
pick another
so
name that is
so
like Sally, the
right,
Sally
right.
bot,
I
the
know that.
John
I know.
bot,
I know. I don't
the
know
Harry
how they.
bot? I
I
mean,
have no
something.
idea. I have no idea how they came up with it.
Let's go
Right.
from Claude to
Right.
what?
I have no idea how they came up with this. But nonetheless,
It's
so
got to be an
now
acronym for
so there's
something.
Moltbot. So literally, and a lot of people have been going out and buying Mac Minis to import, to
Yes.
install this on,
Yeah.
right?
The
This is the
guys on
rage.
AI podcast.
Right.
AI,
This
yeah,
is
all in podcast. Yeah.
so yeah, so this is the rage. But what's even more fascinating, I mean, and there's so much to unpack there, and we're not gonna be able to touch hardly on any of them. But there's security
No, no, we're
issues,
not.
there's productivity issues, there's a lot there, right? And we will be talking about this more in the future. But here's the most interesting thing of all.
Yeah.
About a week ago, some guy got the brilliant idea to establish a social network for agents,
Oh,
right?
really? So they'll
Yes.
learn from each other and share?
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Whoa.
so they join. Yeah.
Oh my
It's called,
God.
instead
It's
of it's so
happening.
it's a knockoff off of Facebook. It's called Moltbook.
Oh
Moltbook.
my.
And this thing is blowing up with traffic. Like, some of the stories are incredible about agents like complaining about, oh, my owner, or this and this.
This is bad. This is not good.
Yeah.
Right?
This is not
Right?
good.
So
I
I
think we need to
literally,
pull, but have we learned nothing about social media from humans? This is not good.
this is AI time, right? Like, stuff
Yeah.
is happening before our eyes so quick. And then here's the last thing. I like to, if when I go out walking, I will often listen to podcasts and things. So I was walking the other day, and I was listening to Peter Diamandis interview Elon Musk.
Yes.
And so one of the predictions that Elon Musk made, and know this, that Elon, of course, he's the head of Tesla, but I've heard a number of well-informed people that say that in probably another 10 years, you're not going to think of Tesla as a car company anymore. It will be a
Well,
robot.
no, he's
Yeah.
converting two factories to Optimus
Right.
factories.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and I
Exactly. So
think they're
Tesla,
the ones in
Tesla,
California.
oh, that's right. A lot of people still think of Tesla as a car company, but the actual where Elon's going to earn his pay package, and he probably will be
Probably will.
from.
Probably will.
Well, no, no. He's got all these incentives
I
to pay
have
him a
no
trillion.
doubt.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever,
I totally
whatever
agree.
price tag he decides to charge for what he did,
Yeah.
he's like, literally, they used to say, when you were born, they broke the mold. This is true with him. I
Beyond a
think
doubt.
there's still a lot of people out there like me, and I
Right.
don't want you to cringe at the thought of that. But literally with him,
Yes.
I think they broke the mold. I
No,
think
no question.
that was like a tester.
But so with that background, right? And so, Elon makes this prediction. He says by 2040, there should be 10 billion humanoid robots on this earth.
How
Now,
many humans are there?
well, that's where I was going with this because
Oh, I'm
no
so
one,
sorry. I was ahead of
they
you. I
did
got
not
there
draw,
before you.
no one on, neither Peter or him, to extrapolated, right, what this means, right, relative to the human population. So I went and I said, this seems like this is going to mean that there's going to be more robots than humans on Earth. And sure enough, if you take
So
if you
how many
take
humans today, Steve? Do you know?
there's about 8 billion. I think
Okay.
it's okay,
Well, and
and
the population's going
it's
down.
not really growing. Well, it's not really decreasing in absolute terms yet. In relative growth terms, it is.
It it will be.
It will be exactly. We agree on
Yes.
yeah, totally. But the
Yes.
point is by 2040, there's estimated to be between short of 10 billion people,
Well,
right?
and you know what, if you think about it, it could well, no. Elon's thinking is, I was just going to say it could accelerate it, but that's not the case because I remember Elon saying something of the things that could be getting in the way of humans reproducing, right? Or
Uh-huh.
later on is women in the workforce.
Hmm.
They don't have the time for kids because kids
Hmm.
are they're a time suck in
Yeah.
in the best possible way. But
Yes.
I mean, I look back when, I had the, raising kids and the whole thing and working full time and all the stuff. I thought, oh my God, when the kids move out, I'm going to have so much time. No, no, you don't
Right.
have so much time. So you get sucked up in some time vortex, right?
That's
And
right.
then it's like, oh, okay, when I stop doing, because I was going to school and working full time, when I'm not going to school anymore, I'm going to have all this time. No, didn't have more time. But what he believes is that the robots will help alleviate some of that menial stuff. And so
Hmm.
people will reconsider having children. So I hope that's a case because right now we're not covering our own death rate. I mean,
Right.
if you got two parents to one kid, do the
That's
math.
right. Right. Yes. That's you're exactly right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael, Greg, what's happening in your world?
Well, not much.
Michael, you say that every time. Every time.
Well, there was that thing that was my friend and I have been playing with recently. It's called anti-gravity, and it's actually by Google, and it's very interesting. Anti-gravity is brilliant.
So
The
tell us what it is.
A does everything. You give it the
Okay.
prompt.
I'm
You
still
give
not
it,
clear.
you go into anti-gravity,
Yeah,
and you download it and it becomes on your computer,
right.
and you start working with, it's like creating a development code, right? But you just
Okay.
say, it creates softwares, it creates operations,
Is it
it's like
like vibe coding?
it's like a full Python library and everything that you have access to by
Okay.
prompting. So let's say, for
So
example, you
is
want
anti-gravity the idea that nothing's holding you back or
to,
keeping you ground, like the sky's the limit kind of thing?
no resistance, I guess.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
so you just give it the prompt. I want to create a website. I want to create
Right.
an app, or whatever it is, an operation to
Right.
do this and that. And we're just playing with it with a website. It was very interesting. It created the full website with everything, the tweaking and everything, and then we asked to deploy it, and it did deploy it. And it was
Where?
like,
Where?
it gave us an extension to use it temporary until we connected to
Oh, until
Yeah.
you
the main
land it
domain.
someplace on a
Which,
host. Okay.
yes, again, if
Hmm.
you give it a command to deploy into your own custom domain, it will connect it, and it will just log you in through your main register and stuff. And once you authenticate, it's deployed on your own custom domain. It's uh, it's brilliant.
So did
Like,
it create a website, Michael, that, because I know you've been playing with different ventures, and supporting your friend and I think it's
yes.
off-road or exploring different things. Did it create a website that you all are going, yeah, this is our starter website and we can run with this?
Yes, it was brilliant. It was like about learning a language, and it created all of that, the process and the
So
system, and you're going.
you did a website. Are you all planning on using that website that it built?
We did it as a template first, as a test drive. It
Okay,
wasn't the
okay,
main purpose, but we wanted to
okay,
see the capability of the software of the
okay. So
anti-gravity.
what's your next step?
Next step is to get. what we're at right now is it's very interesting phase where I'm seeing with everyone as well. There is no lack of ideas.
Mm-mm.
There's ideas everywhere,
No, it's focusing.
and there's I'm coming back to that. You jumped into it.
Yeah.
And there is no lack of tools, smart tools that to carry on with those ideas, right? What is really needed is the focusing, is
Mm-hmm.
like to stay the course, discipline with the course,
Mm-hmm.
and just this is the idea, and staying focused and keep writing the path, like either on a piece of paper so you don't lose track
Yeah.
outside in a multi-dimensional world. So to stay linear and continue and
Mhm.
So
just
what is your
finish the
next
process.
what is your next step on the path based on all the stuff that you said? Like we need to focus. It built a website.
I need
It's
to focus.
interesting. It's amazing. What comes to you? Line for you.
Being just very authentic and saying, I need to focus. I need to be stay the course, and I'm trying now to use a pen and a paper just to write down the next steps so that way I don't go into so many ideas, and
Yeah.
there's no
Well,
lack of ideas.
well,
Yeah.
Great
I think
ideas.
the yeah, I think the thing is that the problems that you solve, and not everything's so straightforward, but the problems that you solve have got to be meaningful problems,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Of course.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
best
Well,
thing is
yeah.
to come from the end in mind, which
yes,
is something that you have an issue,
uh-huh,
or you're doing something and oh, what if this can solve that and that and that, and I don't need to pay this much
mm-hmm,
into that. You come from there, you start from there, the end
yeah,
in mind, and then go backwards.
yes,
That's the best way.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's
otherwise you
not
end
just.
up, there's a new feature in Google that finally got launched for Ultra users. And I know Matt Wolf and Rob, the AI guy, both shared the same thing. So it was the one of them was like this, he created animated goldfish that was swimming through whatever. And it's like, okay. But to your point, Michael, and I think you too, Steve, is that you can get caught up in the fun to play with thing, which can be a
Yeah.
massive time suck, even more than children ever thought of.
mhm,
Um, but it's like, do I need this new shiny object? Is it going to benefit me? And if it's going to benefit me, how is it going to benefit me? Because I think that's the discernment that we need now,
absolutely,
because 2 years ago, GPT, fell out in the world and everything else. We had the luxury of just playing with it. There's so many different options and flavors, and that we do need to be focused and more discerning on what things are, because otherwise you're not going to get the stuff done that you actually need to get done.
Mhm.
yeah,
and
yeah. Well,
and
and sometimes,
and we need to delegate that part, which is the look up and look out for always new stuff. And
Mhm.
I
that's
think
right.
Steve is the
Yeah.
best guy
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
You
So
know what
he's
was
our best
interesting to
guy.
me, Michael, that you shared is they were talking about, the focus part of it. And then, so we need to write down, right? So you went back completely from automation, AI,
Mhm.
all that stuff to this
Paper and a pen.
paper, which I've got pads of paper that I write stuff down, because my experience has been is that there's so much in the digital world, right, on the cloud or whatever, that I don't necessarily have the single source of truth,
Mhm.
because things are getting iterated all the time. And I need to get better at that. So I do find, like, I've got my list, right?
Mhm.
It's on paper. Yes, Greg, paper. Not, it's not a calendar. Okay.
The
It's
only
not a
paper,
calendar.
the only paper I use anymore are napkins.
That's because you eat a lot of fruit that have juice. So
I
you
would
know, no
ask.
toilet paper or Kleenex, huh?
No,
I will
okay.
not ask.
You're right.
Just
My bad.
napkins.
My bad.
Yeah.
Just napkins. Okay. Yeah, Greg, how about you, sir? What's
Well,
happening?
Michelle, you have me speechless, being that you actually have a notepad again, and I'm really proud of you. So that's awesome. Um, The Claude bot thing, they've renamed that for the third time. It's now called OpenClaw. Yeah, so who knows,
Really?
maybe next,
Molt? No, it's
yes,
Molt. It's Moltbot now.
they changed it to OpenClaw again. It's on its third version of naming.
Are you
Yes,
sure? Okay. Well, anyway,
I
we're
think
yeah.
so. Yeah, that was
Good.
my
Okay.
understanding.
Okay.
Um,
Things are happening fast and
so
furious, people. Fast and furious.
things are moving, yeah, pretty quickly. I did look at your genie thing from Google, okay, and yeah,
That's
it
the
is
one.
attention grabbing. And the reason I kind of looked at that a little bit was for using it for my marine biology education thing. If there was
Mm,
some way I could integrate that for children to,
Oh,
keep
yeah.
their attention, right? So
mhm,
I didn't spend a lot of time on that, but I did take Steve's advice and I went back to Claude actually for a while and did some little work with Claude, had a pretty nice conversation trying to integrate a few things with well, our full moon that we've just gone through
Yeah.
and the interaction with the oceans and the tides and
mhm,
that type of thought. And so I worked through Claude with a lot of this stuff and kind of developed a bit of a tech stack that I can start experimenting with. But where that led me was something really basic right now is our Gmail accounts. Okay, so there's everybody's Gmail account now has Gemini without asking. It's totally integrated into,
mm,
into our Gmails. And so there's some controversy with that. So there's some issues again on privacy, who's actually going through our emails. And Google's response to that is now they're making, things a little bit more trustworthy. So there's more authentication in the back end. And the reason that got my attention is sending newsletters. Okay, that's where I'm going to be, going. And so there's going to be some changes as far as what our Gmail is going to look like. Okay, where there's going to be monitoring, and if you have any kind of regular spam recognition on your newsletters
mm.
or marketing material, you're out. It's something
Wow.
AI is going to be really good at, and so that's one of the things that's moving forward rather
You,
quickly. So
That's
you
interesting. If that's the case, you're saying for incoming emails, it will flag it more so than what it currently does as spam. Is that what I'm hearing?
what? No, it's on the back end. So they're actually they're monitoring mass emails sent out from particular domains.
Right.
And if on the receiver end they're being marked as spam and it's something really not significant, it's like 0.3%, or it's really not a large number,
Yeah.
and they will block you. Okay, there's going to be some changes in the internet marketing business that's coming up really
So who
rather
are they
quickly.
blocking? The domain that's sending the newsletter out or the email
Correct.
out?
No,
Oh,
it's
wow.
it's the sender. It's the sender
Okay.
that's going to,
which would
yeah,
make sense, which would make perfect
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Well, it does unless it got it wrong.
Well,
Because,
right.
I mean, I have stuff that ends up in spam that's not spam. So I have
Yeah,
to mark it as not spam. So if it's going to take the initiative to block it
yeah,
and it's wrong, I mean, hello.
yeah. So there's going to be, okay, no, but it's going to be the onus on the sender to, yeah, to really authenticate everything that they're sending out a little bit more.
Okay,
So
my
there's,
brain's going, I don't, there's time and there's stuff that if it flags it erroneously.
yeah, it could
And if
be,
if
yeah,
that's the case, huh, that
but it
that
could
brings us
be,
to a whole new pot of
it
stuff.
may be a manual thing on the receiver
Yeah.
end to say I'm marking this as junk, or I'm marking this as spam, or
Yeah,
I'm
hopefully there's some
unsubscribing at
manual
this end.
intervention there that you've got the option of permanently blocking. And it's
Yeah,
almost like unsubscribing, right? To something. It's like I had to intentionally go through and unsubscribe so that it's no longer, this is a different thing to where you don't receive it anymore.
Hmm.
This is a different thing.
Yeah,
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 it's going to be monitored a little bit more
Yeah.
with a little more scrutiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm excited with what Google's doing because when I think about stuff, I think the last time or one of the other times we talked was the Google functionality, is that I had tested out and built this two different workflows, and one of them was DISC, so the personality assessment. It's ridiculously manual the old way. It's like I had a template and I had to change who the name was, and I had to put in the key code for the person, send it out. If it's for a company, I'm holding the email so I don't have this lag in between, so then I'll just set them up as drafts and then send, 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 send. So I got this process set up. I knew it would save time. Um, and so I had 26 key codes that I sent out to a client. And I did it yesterday. And I did a test on one of them to make sure it went okay. I went into send. And then I sent 25 out in the span of maybe 2 minutes. Those easily would have taken me 45 minutes to do before because of all the copy and pasting and the changing of the stuff. And like, it was crazy. And I spot checked halfway through to make sure I was still tracking with the right stuff, key codes. And I'm like, this is incredible, right?
Mm.
I mean, from 45 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes total of all the stuff. So for me, it's like, what's the additional automation step, right? It's like right now, I had a list of emails and name, and so I copied and pasted into my overall Google sheet where the key codes and everything are. It's like, okay, so can that be an automated process? Can this be, I mean, all the stuff, and then it updated the date that the email, for the key code was sent out. It's huge, and it's a little nothing. I mean, it's a little nothing. So I'm so excited about stuff. So I wrote down, I did an RFP response, request for proposal. So I had gotten reached out from another organization that it does and I looked at everything that they wanted, and it's like, I don't have time for this because they give you these ridiculously no turnaround time, like 5 days. And it's like, I can't do this whole thing. She said, well, what about just an updated resume and this other stuff based on the RFP? And I said, but there's a lot of other requests. She said, you would be part of, underneath the umbrella of something else. I said, okay. So I took two lengthy documents that were part of the RFP. I took my resume along with my LinkedIn profile and went into Gemini, and it was probably 10 minutes that I had an updated resume that was all my stuff,
Mhm.
but it was catered and written to the RFP and what this stuff was looking for.
Yeah.
Um, my God, that would have taken me, and no judgment here from anybody else, please, over an hour. Okay.
Mm.
If I got the energy up enough to actually even want to do it, I would have said
Mhm.
hard pass.
Mhm.
I did the same thing with my rates because I had to give her my rates across these different offerings. And so I was able to go back and forth because I know my rates, but my rates in competing with an RFP for a government agency so it's like, what does that look like with the markup of the other one? And so I was able to quickly go back and forth to be able to get the rates, to be able to have something to put in the email to respond. So I probably spent realistically 25-30 minutes on something that I would have overthought this thing till the cows came home. I just thought of you, Greg. I had to say that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's life changing. And the last thing that I'll say is I was helping a friend with some court filing documents, like a template of all that stuff. And I have not played in this space before, but I took all the information, the relevant information, and Gemini created the document, the motion, as well as the index. And granted, I iterated on this a few times. It probably took me over an hour. But the document itself, the indexes, and then the supporting what are they, appendix? What do you call with evidence, piece of evidence? The word is escaping me. Anyway,
Reference.
the additional attachments with a legal document.
An
Um,
amendment.
yeah, the three of them, I took them into Adobe and numbered them, so everything was great. I mean, I saved thousands. from an attorney because it was filling
Right.
out a form with all the other information, and helped a friend to be able to say, okay, try this. So the stuff that we're able to do now quickly with confidence, right? And granted, I had to check because there was some errors on some stuff, and then of course, Gemini comes back and goes, "Oh yeah, thanks for being so clear." And it's like, okay, yeah, I do have attention to detail, but you check the stuff, but the savings of the time for the initial output is phenomenal.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely. It's true. It's very true.
I'm excited, Greg. You produced something and you sent a video to me to share. What did you
I
share with people, if you don't
Well,
mind?
yeah, coming back to Elon and and his robotics prediction, I just had 6 different YouTube videos from different places around the world and different perceptions on what 2026 could look like,
Oh,
excuse me, for what robotics could be. I don't know. Do you have that
yeah,
to play that?
yeah.
I took these YouTube videos, put them into NotebookLM, and just asked for a summary and their prediction on what 2026 might look like for the future of robotics, and that's so it came up with a little bit of a narrative and
So
a
how
bit of a
did you
slideshow.
get the 6 different, because they're different templates. So did you splice together or you just told it I want different?
No, no, I spliced them all together and asked NotebookLM to do a summary and then
Okay.
provide their interpretation on what their prediction would be based on the information that I gave them.
Okay. So what we're going to do right now is, this thing is 6 minutes. No, we're not going to spend 6 minutes and watch this, but it has different um themes, modes to it, and different looks in the template background. So you didn't go 6 different times into Notebook LM.
No,
You just, okay. So
I let no,
let's,
yeah, I let NotebookLM make their own decisions on their interpretations. So
okay.
because they were from 6 different sources, right? So
We're ready for it or not. And let me be clear, this is not some far-off future prediction. The breakthroughs, the products, the geopolitical race, it's all happening in real time. We've literally gone from quiet lab experiments to a full-blown industrial shift in less than 24 months.
Okay.
But the light in the room, and maybe most shocking, humanoids from China that cost less than a new iPhone. And the real kicker? The AI now gives them physical intuition, a huge, huge barrier that's just been broken.
So this revolution isn't coming from just one single discovery. No, it's actually 3 separate fields, all hitting their exponential curve at the
Wow. Um,
Love this.
Here, let's go.
complete stranger having that kind of unfiltered access to your home and your family. Next, the one everyone's worried about, your job. Now, the first wave of automation is going to target roles in warehouses, sanitation, and on assembly lines. But that first wave alone puts an estimated 47 million jobs in the US at risk. This isn't some slow, gradual shift.
And to wrap up,
To ship, the race is on. It's not a question of if anymore, but when. And when is right now. The robots are here. The only real question left is, are we ready
that's pretty freaking cool.
for the
what I remember is Peter Diamandis saying that, there wasn't enough advancement in robotics until they could not do the laundry, but actually fold it. And robots are folding laundry now. So, I mean, things are moving pretty quickly.
Well, and the reality is the folding the laundry is just like not even as much of the tip of an iceberg. I think it's just like a little snowflake,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that I think it was Elon in the same podcast. He was saying that within 3 years, a robot should be able to be a better surgeon than any of the current surgeons, right? And the thing about it is that it's not like teaching a robot a skill and then having to teach them another skill, because what happens is these robots can basically transfer their brain to other robots, and so you teach one robot, then you've taught all robots, right? And so and they can sync up, and so
Well, we're that way. If we just open
Yeah.
to it, and you know, living beings are that way. And I'll give you an example that someone talked about the monkeys. The monkeys in one continent learned how to do something with fruit, or cracking a nut. I think it was a certain way to
Mm-hmm.
crack a nut. And monkeys on a different
Mm-hmm.
continent,
Mhm.
we're doing that same thing as they learn, because they're all connected
Yeah. Well,
through the, so I mean, we're that way. The difference is the robots are open to sharing that information and with intentionality. And I think humans stop doing that.
well, I think we're now entering a world, if we haven't already entered it,
We're here.
that the humans, us, are no longer the smartest things on earth. Um, and
Or
Go
like,
ahead.
well, yeah, I mean, the AI is smarter. And I was listening to, actually, when one of my podcast walks, I was listening to Mark Andreessen, who he funds most of, Andreessen Horowitz is a venture capital firm, for anyone that might not know, in Silicon Valley, and they funded most of the startups. And he's saying, yeah, we've got this AI is, if it's not already, it's going to be smarter than we are. And we have to get used to that. It's a lot of profound implications, and it's Darwin. Back to Darwin, it's not the most intelligent or the strongest species that have survived. It's the most adaptable.
Hmm.
But the AI is quite adaptable
Well, I
too.
was going to say there's adaptability. The and when I think about this, it's not smartness is an interesting thing, because I have a
yes.
reaction to
Yes,
that.
it is. It
It's
is
more like
applied
potential,
intelligence.
but well, it's potential, it's capability, it's um there's is something different. There's some different thing, because it's not the same. It's not human intelligence, because humans, there's is I strongly encourage us not to compare, because this feeling that I have is there's a greater potential at the learning, the breakthroughs, all that stuff. And I think it's important for us to be managing, and I don't mean shutting down. I mean staying current with it, managing, and realizing it's almost like if you were to plug your bathtub, all stuff, and ran the water and going, it's going to be okay, and you walk away. And you come back and it's overflowed and flooded and all this other shit. We need to be aware of what's happening so that it's not so far ahead that it's like a dog running, that you've got the
Mhm.
leash and the dog's just dragging you along. It's going to be important for us as humans not to be in that situation. And it doesn't mean that we have to know all the stuff, but we need to be able to keep pace to help guide and direct it. It's
Mhm.
almost like a leader of a super high performing team. Your
Yeah.
job is not to hold the team back, but you've got to be able to direct it so that you're aligned to what's going on and the ultimate goals of the organization or humanity or the planet or whatever it may be. So
Hmm.
that's my thought.
Yeah.
I think the definition of smartness is changing because it used to be the one who knows the most.
Right.
And that's not the case now. And it went through so many phases. Is like the one who can hold and retain as more data than the other person is smart. That was the definition. I think this is changing. It's now like more into something, a mix of an intuition plus so many things that is very unique, where you can be aware, present, and you can take a completely unexpected curve because you felt you want to do that.
Hmm.
And the end result is astonishing, unimaginable. And I think that would be smart down
Hmm.
the road.
Yeah. Um, I appreciate the time. I'm going to figure out the video, Greg, that NotebookLM put together with you and all that stuff. Maybe we upload it to our channel, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
can have a link to it to watch. It's interesting. I do love the way NotebookLM puts together thoughts and content in a very
Visual.
succinct, even though we look at it and go, oh my God, 6 minutes. It's just 6 minutes, right? But it's not right for this platform. But to be able to link, because there is value in that, especially with
Yes.
leaders, organizations that go, here's the 250-page document that we have. Okay, let's get this into NotebookLM and figure out how we create content that's more digestible for people that they can understand.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you once again. I enjoyed time in the room with each of you.
Always fun.
And until next time, this is AIBecause. Have a freaking awesome day, week, month, year, all the stuff.
We got the spark
All right,
in
everyone.
the circuits now. As dummies listen, we'll show you how. A new wave rising, it's clear and loud. AI's the future, let's make you proud. Data and dreams combined in the air. From cloud to code, oh, we're everywhere. Innovation driving, we're breaking ground. With AI tools, let's turn it around.